Lesson 5 gets into creating lists and graphical tables. So you're going to be learning how to create them using HTML. And then you're also going to be learning the CSS that is typically used to format lists and tables. And some of the CSS you've seen before, it's just being applied in a little different way. And some of the CSS will be new. So you are definitely going to want to read the pages in the book. And you'll notice that we're hitting pages from a couple different chapters because we're covering HTML and we're covering some CSS. And once you read those chapters in the book, you can go through the list and table lecture demo. And so we go through lists first, the different types, and you'll notice that there's links so you can go to those interactive websites and practice. And then once we get done with the different types of lists, then you will learn CSS border properties because borders can actually be used with anything, but quite often they are used with lists and tables. So we cover how to create borders and how to adjust the different properties. And then we get into creating graphical tables. And so we get into table formatting, which you definitely are going to want to do. Otherwise, the table is not going to be very user friendly. So we get into formatting, and then finally we get into kind of a neat way to do columns. And so these are like newspaper columns. And it's super simple and fast in CSS to convert a page into columns. So you will be learning how to do that. And you'll see it does not take a whole lot of CSS to create that effect. And then once you finish that, you will do the textbook assignment. And the textbook assignment uh, does give you more direction. There are videos for you to watch, and I am giving you files that you can download. So you're going to do a lesson 5 folder. Inside that folder, you're going to have a media and a CSS folder. And then you'll be downloading the files to those various folders. And then you'll be opening up those HTML files and editing them. And just in case you're wondering, this crumb cake recipe is a real recipe. It is not fake. You could actually make it, just so you know. And here's the different CSS for that. So a lot of this is formatting that. And then the Hitchcock page, you will be doing a graphical table in that and adding CSS for that as well. And then finally, you will do a news column. And your lab assignment is going to be kind of similar. But the difference is you get to pick what you are doing the page on. So you are going to create a new page using the different lists and tables. And so I do have a couple of examples, but you can do it on anything you want. So you have some minimal requirements that you have to work in. And so I have a resume that incorporates those requirements, and the recipe that you did in the textbook assignment also incorporates those requirements. So if you wanted to use either of those as a starting point, that's fine. If you want to go off and do something completely different, that is okay too. Then part 2 is creating a page that uses a news column format. So I took a poem and did the poem using the news column format. And you can see that I cited it. And so if you view the page source, you can see exactly how I inserted the CSS for this. Then finally, you're going to update your assignment page with the new links. And for the different exercises, you are going to display those as a bulleted list. And so you are going to probably want to use the find and replace feature in VS Code. So I do explain how to do that as well. And then here is the grading rubric. Okay, and that is all that is required of this week. Now, some of you may notice that sometimes my CSS looks different than yours, and that is because I have extensions added to VS Code. And so here is a link to a video that talks about some different extensions that you can add to your VS Code if you want to. Okay, I tend to like the ones that have color and the ones that make my life a little bit easier. So here's a video that shows you how to add these with links to these different extensions. And here's color extensions, a prettier code formatter extension. You can apply different themes. And if you want to see all of the extensions, you can go into the VS Code Marketplace. Now, if you have an extension that you really, really like or that you think is useful, please share it with the class. Okay, now this discussion forum is not required, okay, but if you like using something, by all means, come in here, add a discussion topic, and let people know. Let your classmates know, and you guys can share information. As you are working on things this week, if you run into problems or if you have any questions at all, please let me know because I am here to help you and I am around home a lot. So most days I'll be able to get right back to you. Have a great week. And again, let me know if you have any questions.